Hello, welcome back. Today I've got a nice full body Pilates using the little mini stability ball. If you don't have one of these, you can get creative, maybe with a cushion, a pillow, rolled up blanket, maybe even a block, something like that, or you can do the whole thing without. But these are really good. I highly recommend getting one of these. I am also 34 weeks pregnant, so this is also prenatal friendly as well. So follow me, I'll be taking the easier options. And yeah, full body, get a little bit of space, and let's get ready to go. If we haven't met before, hi, I'm Emma. I'm a Pilates, breathwork and meditation instructor. I do happen to be registered blind, little bit of vision, but I'm telling you because I've got a guide dog who you might find comes in and out of the video, so look out for him. But also I try to audio describe in as much detail as possible so that other blind, visually impaired people can follow along. And this is also time to take a little screen break as well. So yeah, hopefully you can follow along without looking at the screen if you don't need to. But we're going to stand nice and tall. Let me check I'm in the middle of my mat roughly. And if you are using the ball, we're going to place it just between the thighs, just above the knees, and have a little squeeze there on that ball. And we're going to stand nice and tall with our feet hip distance apart, nice and parallel. And as we stand tall, start to take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And as you breathe out, let the arms go heavy, let any kind of tension melt away as you settle into the space. Maybe taking a moment to close down the eyes and just tune into your other senses. This is a nice class for deep connection, slow burns, just really finding some awareness with that ball. So gently start to feel a slight squeeze through your thighs as you tune in and feel that ball. As you grow a little taller, as you take a deeper breath into your rib cage. And as you breathe out, gently feeling your abdominals, switching on, putting your belly button away from your clothing. The next time you breathe out, gently squeeze into your ball, nod your chin to the chest and take a roll up and over the legs, reaching down to your feet. I'm going to take my feet a little wider to cater for bump. And just take a moment to stretch out the backs of the legs. And then we're slowly going to roll up. Tailbone goes towards the heels. And we restart bone by bone, standing nice and tall, rolling our shoulders down our back. Release the ball slightly. And then go again. Gentle squeeze into the ball. Nod your chin to the chest. And take that dive forwards, up and over the legs. And you can imagine you're peeling off of a sticky wall. So each part of the spine is coming down bit by bit. Bend your knees as much as you need to. And then we're slowly rolling all the way up, tailbone towards the heels. We're restacking bone by bone. And as we stand tall, we release the ball. One more time, squeezing into the ball. Feel those inner thighs, maybe feeling that pelvic floor engaging as well. As you squeeze. Just rolling down to where you can. And then slowly rolling all the way up, standing nice and tall. Rolling those shoulders back and down. Good. When you're ready, we're going to come into some little squats. So the ball's going to help us nicely keep those knees in line. We're going to squeeze our palms slightly back behind us, squeezing the arms back without popping through the rib cage. And then slowly we're going to sit back into an invisible chair, gently squeezing the ball. And we take about 3 to 4 seconds to sit back. And then 3 to 4 seconds to come back up and then squeeze our arms gently back behind us. And we go again, we're sitting back. Gentle squeeze into the ball, feeling the knees tracking in line with our toes, and then we slowly come up. We squeeze our arms back. Taking our time, chest nice and lifted. And then slowly lifting. Let's do this just a couple more times. I feel like because I've got to take my knees a little bit wider for bump, I can't properly squeeze into the ball. Anyway, and this last one, we're going to stay down in our squat. And if you want to, you can gently rest the hands on the legs for support, or you can stay with the arms out, or even in a prayer position, hands together. And just give me 10 little squeezes into the ball, really slow. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Again, maybe the hands are on the legs, chest is still lifted. Carrying on with that, maybe if you need to stand, give the legs a little breather for a minute, you can, and you can even do some squeezes in standing. Otherwise, we go 4 and 3, chest is up, 2 and 1, unsqueeze, stand nice and tall, come back into your squat again. This time we take the ball away and we take it behind the hands. So we're sitting back in our squat. The ball is now behind our back, slightly lifted up a little bit higher. And you're just going to do little squeezes into the ball. Like you're trying to squeeze or clap your hands together, squeezing into the ball, which is really, really difficult. And it's only going to be teeny tiny movement. Again, slow like we did for the legs. 5, 4, 3. Can we sit back a little lower in that squat? 2, 1. And then standing up nice and tall. When you're ready from here, you're going to take the ball into the left hand and just place it by the side of your leg and just have the palm on the side of the ball. You're going to do a little press into it and just feel that arm working. The other arm is down by your side. You then release, hold the ball, you sweep the ball up and out to the side, up to the ceiling, up, all the way to the side of your arm touches your ear. You then come into a big side bend over to the right. Your right arm now comes all the way up to catch that ball. And you bring the ball down by your side while you're still in a side bend. You push that ball now down the side of the leg that you're reaching towards. You then lift the ball back up to the arm that's still up to the ceiling. You let the arm drop back by your side, and the arm that's still up comes all the way back up, and you press it back by your side. Did I make any sense? Probably not. So it's still in the same arm it started with. You lift the arm up to the ceiling. We do a big side bend, so we're rooting our feet as we bend our waist. We stay here, we lift the arm that's still by our side, all the way up to catch hold of that ball. Keep the arms as straight as possible. You let the ball come into the other hand, and it's now down by your side, reaching down to the floor, and you press the hand into the ball so it presses on the side of the leg. You lift the arm all the way back up so it transfers back into the arm that's up to the ceiling. The arm drops back down. That was relaxed to start with. You come back up with the arm that was over the head, and it comes back down by your side, and you press the ball into the side. Let's do that one last time. Arm sweeps up. You come into that big side bend. You lift the other arm up by the side of your ear. You catch hold of the ball in the other hand, and you let it go down by your side. Push the ball into the side of the leg. You lift it back up into the hand it started in. You let the arm drop, and then the arm that it started in comes all the way up and presses by your side. Let's change it into the right hand. Ball starts in the right hand. You press it into the side. You lift that right arm all the way up by the side of our ear. We root the feet. We come into a big side bend. Left arm comes all the way up. It catches hold of the ball, and you take it by your side, squeezing the ball down the side of your leg. Left arm comes back up to reach the right arm. Left arm drops by your side, leaving that right arm to pull you back up. Arm by your side, squeeze the ball into the side of the leg. Let's keep flowing without me talking so much this time. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Really slow, controlled movement. And we're going to do this one last time. Ball up to the ceiling, a big side bend, root those feet. You've got to really find your balance as the other arm comes up to catch the ball, using those deep abdominals. push the ball by your side. Bring it back to the center and take a roll all the way down to the mat. Good. When you're ready, we're coming all the way down and we're going to be on our side. So bring yourself onto your right side and you're going to place the ball back between the thighs. And if you're able to, you're going to be up on your forearm. If you're not, you can lay flatter into the mat, that's fine. But you're squeezing into your ball. And if you are on your forearm, you've got your elbow underneath your shoulder and you're opening the chest out nice and wide. I feel like the camera's so far away over this side. Okay, so the feet are slightly tucked behind you and you want your hips stacked. So we don't want them to be swaying back. We want them completely stacked on top of one another. And your free arm can go behind the head. So this nice opening for the chest. If you need to bring it down in front, if it gets achy, that's fine. And just take a gentle squeeze into the ball and then release. Really slow, we're gently squeezing into the ball and then release. Now, if you want to make this more challenging, you're going to lift your hips up, which I'm not going to do. I'm feeling really heavy. Apparently, I've got a melon-sized baby in there at the minute. But you can lift your hips up and away from the mat and continue squeezing into the ball, but now the waist has got to work a little more, the shoulder, as you lift your hips. And we're going to do that 5 more times. Squeeze as much as you can. And open. And 4. Some of you may be wanting to stretch your legs out a little longer, coming into a full side plank. Squeezing that ball, maybe just above the ankles. 2. Good, we have 1 more. Good, hold this last one, just give me little pulses into the ball. 10, 9, 8, 7, chest open, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. And we're rolling onto our forearms. We'll do the other arm or the other side in a little bit. So rolling over onto your forearms, again, if this is uncomfortable, you can lay flat onto your back. But if you can be on your forearms, you're going to have your elbows underneath your shoulders, and we're not sinking into those shoulders. We're really pressing them away. We want some energy into those arms. Ball is still between the thighs. Feet are not too close. They're not too far away. And we're really engaging through those abdominals. Now, when you're ready, we're going to squeeze into our ball and slowly release. And as you do that, you're holding your hips. Squeeze. So this is layer 1. We've got squeeze and release. Now we're going to add a little bit more each layer, so you stay with what works best for you. We can squeeze into the ball and then extend the right leg out so the knee unfolds. Keep squeezing the ball. Place the foot back down to the floor. Release the ball. We go again. Big squeeze. Stretch the other leg out to the side without tipping. Leg comes back down, hello. And then you release. Carrying on with that. Can you lay down? We squeeze. Extend the leg. No sinking into the shoulders. Place the foot to the floor. And release. We go again, we squeeze. Kick the leg out. Bring it down. Release. Now you can continue with this, or you may find that you want to add a little bit more challenge. Arch, can you lay down for me? Guide dog Archie's getting way involved and you're completely covering me. Can you lay down? Can you stretch? Where's a big stretch? Oh, okay. So you can bring both legs up together, or you can lift one leg and then lift the other leg. So both shins are parallel to the ceiling and squeezable. I'm not going to stay here long because it's really putting on my abs. You're going to squeeze through the ball, release, and then you're going to tap the feet down to the floor in that right angle. Come back up, squeeze into the ball, release, tap back down. So you've got that option as well. So you've got the one where you're squeezing, releasing, legs don't move. You've got the option where you're squeezing, unfolding the leg, tapping it back down, release. Or now the knees are on top of the hips, the shins are parallel to the ceiling, squeeze into the ball, Keep that squeeze, tap the feet down to the floor, keep that right angle. Bring the legs back up, keep squeezing, and then release. So we're working into the abs, into the arms, either way, into those inner thighs. And just give me 2 more, 1 more on each leg, or 2 more of the doubles. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. We are strong, we are steady through the pelvis, through the abs. Good, on this last one, little pulses wherever you are, squeezing into the thighs. 10, 9, 8, 7. Can we push the shoulders away? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. And when you're ready, roll to your other side. Now I'm going to flip over to my other side, so I'm still facing the camera, but you want to roll onto your other side that you haven't yet done. Those side bends, side lowers. So either lay flat on the mat or coming up onto the forearms, placing the ball back between the thighs. Elbows underneath the shoulders, we're nice and lifted. And if you want to lift those hips up now, you can. And if you want your hand behind the head, you can as well. And we're going to slowly squeeze into the ball and release. So we're doing this same kind of, as you may have found or guessed, or noticed rather, we're doing a lot of these inner thigh squeezes, but in just different positions where we have to hold our body, obviously in different ways. We have to work different muscles to stabilize us. So yeah, but we want to do this really slowly. Good, and maybe you straighten your legs so you're in a full side plank, squeezing the ball, maybe just above the ankles. Maybe you want to come down lower to the mat. Maybe your hips are up. But either way, we got last 2, really slow squeeze. Really slow release. Really slow squeeze. Really slow release, and then when you're ready, little squeezes for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, and bring yourself over onto your hands and knees. So this time the ball is going to, this is where a ball does work a little bit easier. So yeah, I would say if you have got a ball, it's going to be much better. If you haven't, you might want to skip this exercise. Just see. It might work with a rolling pin. So we're going to have the knees underneath our hips, and we're going to place the ball down to the floor. And especially if you are pregnant, I want you to be super steady with this one. I want you to make sure that if you feel unsteady, you're not doing it, because I don't want you to fall onto your belly or anything. But we're going to place the ball just in front, so our hands are underneath our chest. And we're putting a little bit of weight into the ball, but not so much that we feel like we're going to rock and slide. Now, when you're ready, we're going to pull those abdominals in, find a nice flat back. We're slowly going to roll the ball away so we feel it going up the hands. We're going to pull the abs in without sitting back to our heels. Can we roll the ball back in, back underneath our hands? And we go again, we roll the ball away. The chest starts to lower down to the floor. You feel the ball going up the arms. And then we use our abdominals, use our arms to roll us all the way back in. Now, the further the ball starts away from us, and the further our hips are over our knees, the more challenging. Yeah? So just adjust to what you need. And every time you roll that ball back in, you're trying to do that without sitting back onto those heels. You're trying to be as steady as you can. Maybe one hand on top of the other. Maybe switch the hands over in between. And just see how steady you can stay. I feel like I'm sinking into my back. I've got so much weight on my belly. And pulling back up. I hope I'm demoing this okay, because it feels so awkward with bump. Roll away. And come all the way back in. Again, another one for stability. If you feel really wobbly, don't do it. But we're going to place our hands back onto the ball underneath our chest. Knees are underneath our hips. Now, if you're feeling super wobbly like me, maybe just leave the ball in between the hands and place the hands down to the floor instead. And just spread the hands out nice and wide underneath the shoulders. Find a nice flat back. Hips are facing down to the floor. And we're gonna reach our right leg nice and long, lift it up behind us, and then tap the knee down to the floor, and then lengthen it back out behind us. If you prefer to keep it on the floor, it can stay on the floor. Stretch it out, bring it in, but otherwise we're reaching, lifting it up, bringing it back in. We're gonna do 8 on that leg, so we're not moving the back stays flat. We reach, stretch the leg out nice and long to about hip level. We tap, fold the knee back into where it started. We stretch the leg out. Now you can either have that ball underneath the hands, so it's gonna feel really, really wobbly, or like I said, you can take it away like I am and just placing the hands down to the floor. We've got 4. I feel like I'm gonna get a cramp in my legs, so I've just had a little breather. And let's go 3, 2, and 1. Bring that leg back in. If you need to sit back at all, do. Otherwise, we're going to go on the other side. Ball underneath the hands for a little bit of stability. Not stability, for a little bit of challenge in stability. Hands on the floor if you need more stability. And we're going to take the other leg out. So either sweep straight out, sweep straight in, or you kick it out, lift it up, tap it back in. Kick it out, lift it up, tap it back in, carrying on with that. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth, shoulders away from the ears. If you're pregnant, don't be afraid to take loads of breaks. Even if you're not pregnant, don't be afraid to take loads of breaks in between. And let's go 4, and 3, 2, and 1. And when you're ready, bring your feet together, open your knees, roll that ball away and just use it to rest your hands on, or just bring it underneath maybe your chest and just let the hands walk away and just rest into the mat. Maybe giving your wrists a little rotate, rocking back and forth through the hips, and just breathe for a moment. Good, and then slowly roll yourself up, sit nice and tall, and you might even want to sit back on the ball. You might want to be cross legs, whatever feels good for you. And just take a moment to maybe close your eyes, have a scan of the body and just notice how you're feeling. Lots of kind of off-balance stability stuff there. Work into those inner thighs, getting lots of feedback from the ball. Lots of awareness and lots of connections to the body. Take one more deep breath in. Breathe out. And you are done. I hope you found that worked for you and you could still follow along even with me taking loads of breaks, panting like I've just done a marathon and talking a lot. If you did though, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and while I'm on maternity, I'm uploading every other Monday. So if you don't see a video next week, it's fine, there's one coming the week after until September when they all come back to weekly videos, fingers crossed. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day and I will see you very soon. I'm going to leave you with some stretches to do now on screen. And yeah, take care. Bye.